Okay.
So everyone, I'm just so you know, this meeting is going to be recorded. I know it's Friday. Um, let's be on our best behavior. Um, So I'm Myra Roldan. I'm the Senior Technical Program Manager for Machine Learning University Educator Enablement Program. I'm also the lead for the program. As you all may or may not know already, Monica has left us. So I am your main point of contact, your sole main point of contact from this point forward. I'm going to miss Monica a whole bunch, as I'm sure all of you will also. But Today we have a fantastic speaker that I'm really excited to have on with us today, and we have Dr. Ann Beheler. And I'm just going to read her bio for you. Um, Hold on, let me let some more people in. So, Anne has led major national, regional, and local efforts for the benefit of higher education and employers. And to me, that's really significant and why I'm super excited to have her here. With all of the efforts based on efficiently addressing employer demands for talent, I can tell you that that is one of the areas where, when you're in the employer engagement program, Anne picks up on that end for us. And for over 20 years, Anne has trained and mentored hundreds of college personnel to implement the business and industry leadership team model called BILT. And I learned about BILT a few years ago, and I think it's a great model. And it's a model to improve employer engagement for the benefit of faculty, students, and employers. I'm going to ask you all to please mute yourself so we don't get feedback. Thank you. So today, Dr. Beheler has split her career between corporate leadership and various IT roles. And, uh, sorry, my screen keeps on popping over. And has passionately been working to help others achieve learning and that launches their careers. She was director of certification and testing and training at Novell. Ah, do you guys remember Novell? I feel old. Director Director of
Long time
product.
ago.
I know, very long time. Like, are they even around still? Um,
They've been bought several times.
yeah. Director of product development at Raytheon and project manager for Rockwell Industries. Additionally, she has been an instructor, a dean, and a vice president of academic affairs and education. So we are very lucky today to have Dr. Bahila with us today. And I'm going to pass it over to you because I'm super excited. I'm going to go off screen and I'm just going to let everyone know, please keep yourself muted. We're going to have Q&A at the end where you can come off of mute. In the meantime, please put your questions as Dr. Bahiler's presenting into the chat. I'll be monitoring chat. Okay? Dr. Bahiler, it's all yours.
Thank you, Myra. First of all, let's call me Ann from here on out. Anybody who calls me Dr. Beheler, I have to think who that is. I'm very informal and I'm here and delighted to work with you today because we're all in this for the good of the American workforce. Business and industry leadership team model is essentially a business advisory council model. We call it Advisory Council Model 2.0 or Advisory Council on steroids. It takes the employer relationships to the next level. Specifically, we're asking our employers to actually flip the script with us on our business advisory councils and tell us specifically what they want in the future. And that makes such a big difference in terms of their involvement, in terms of the results with your students, the jobs, et cetera, et cetera. It is a structured, repeatable process for any technical program. And I have to tell you, I just got a couple of contracts with 2 universities. They've decided they want to make sure their graduates have jobs at the end as well. And aren't we happy that that has occurred? Anyway, very long story short, the model came from the US Air Force. And the US Air Force is actually still using it. I started using it about 20 years ago. But the model actually is at the US Air Force still to help the Air Force train troops with marketable skills so that when they muster out, they have a career. The model, again, puts heavy emphasis on co-leadership, co-ownership of your program, but faculty never fear, faculty are still 100% in charge of curriculum. Where did it come from? Well, I was hired out of Raytheon. You heard I worked for Raytheon to work for Collin College to grow IT enrollments right before the dot-com bust. Well, guess what? Nobody could grow IT enrollments there then, but I had worked previously with Microsoft and AACC to grow the number of IT programs across the nation. And I happened to have a small National Science Foundation grant at Collin. And bottom line is, I figured that if we were having problems, then there were lots of institutions across the nation having similar problems. So I filed for a National Science Foundation, first regional, then national grant, and we basically reimagined the future of IT on a go-forward basis. I am right now no longer working, well, it's at the end of August, the last of the grants that I wrote and led for Collin will be over. I am in what I call preferment now. That's called retirement. That's really not retired because I'm still working as many hours as ever on other National Science Foundation grants on a contract basis. The BILT actually centers around having your subject matter experts in your industry lead and tell you what knowledge, skills, and abilities they think they want to hire in the talent pipeline 12 to 36 months in the future. And that's because we as educators just aren't really fast at addressing their needs. If we focus on their current needs right now, by the time we modify all our curriculum and get it approved, we're going to be in the rearview mirror for them. So we always have a future focus. This whole process has been implemented at well over 100 colleges in multiple disciplines, mostly technical disciplines. And I really don't have an idea of how many times it's been implemented, because when I talk to many colleges, they say, well, you know, that BILT model we started, we've actually now gotten it into several different programs. If you are into the grant world, it is recognized nationally from the National Science Foundation, from the Department of Labor, from the Department of Ed, NSA, Commerce, lots of the agencies that provide us funding think it is a really good model for very high employer engagement. Here about, maybe 4 years ago, I wrote a grant called Pathways to Innovation. And the Pathways to Innovation, among other things, supports a BILT Academy that teaches other colleges how to implement this model over a period of time. Stay tuned, because the very last slide I'm going to show you before the questions will have a QR code that will allow you to get on our list and apply for being involved in our next BILT cohort and participate in the BILT Academy for free. I think we all agree on this. I think it's always nice for all of us to agree on something in this day and age, of course. We want our students to complete. We do not want them to be flybys and take a course or two and leave. We know they do, but we do need them to complete the degrees and certificates and be well qualified for employment or transfer. Employers really want to work with us, but they don't want us wasting their time. They also do want to hire our students, but they want our students to be well trained so that they don't have to spend any more money on their on-the-job training to onboard a new entry-level employee than they have to. And the business and leadership model is a proven and effective manner for meeting both of those goals. I think the fact that I've been in and out of corporate America several times and academia several times, I think that helped me to see a way to do this that is very efficient for us to align our curriculum, but it's also focused on aligning for the purpose of building relationships long-term. I just finished leading the National Science Foundation IT Center, and I have to say that I had people on our BILT team that actually joined us 18 or 19 years ago. They stayed with us as their careers progressed. They always attended, or not always, sometimes they had to miss. They had the crisis du jour. After all, we're in IT. But bottom line is they were very, very committed to our cause, and we made very efficient use of their time. What's different about BILT? Well, the specificity. We're very, very specific about what we want to know, and also the frequency. I know that most of our colleges have 2 business advisory councils a year. I'm going to suggest having those 2, but also having a summer meeting where we're talking about trends. I'll say more about that in a little bit. The depth of input will amaze you. The information that we are able to get in a very short time from these employers is amazing to me, and I think it will be to you. It's also amazing to the employers when they finish the analysis of our pro forma KSAs, which is the next thing we'll talk about. When they do that, what they always say is, I can't believe you got so much information from us so quickly. So what are the roles for businesses and faculty? First of all, don't forget, faculty are in charge of curriculum. You're just going to be so much better informed with the businesses operating under the BILT model. Have I said co-leadership before? Well, at my heart, I'm an instructor, and I know that if something's mentioned once, you may or may not catch it. So I'm going to say it again. Co-lead, businesses must co-lead the programs. Once a year, they're going to get together and prioritize the knowledge, skills, and abilities that they want graduates to have 12 to 36 months in the future at a program level, not a division level, specifically for program, like software development, like data analytics, like networking and cloud. It is, again, structured, repeatable. We have them vote using an electronic form. And after they have voted, we look at the results of their vote, the averages and the distribution, and we discuss the things that they want to discuss out of the list. Usually our list of pro forma KSAs has maybe 120, maximum 150 items, and it takes them a big 20 minutes to vote. Very, very, very good process that fortunately we can do with the technology we have now. We also want them to predict labor market demand. As I said, I started the BILT when the bottom fell out of the IT market. I'm not going to say the bottom won't fall out of the market again. Hopefully not for very long, because basically we all depend on IT, cybersecurity, AI, regardless, across our industries. We also do have a couple of other meetings, 2 usually, sometimes 3, where we have the industry people talk about trends. I'll say that I'm going to talk about AI a little bit as we get on into this. I have to tell you that my national BILT team for IT started talking about AI, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago. And at every meeting, I would say, now, what does that mean to us as we teach? And we all know that ChatGPT just blew the top off of that one recently. But I have to tell you, I took my first AI course in the 80s. The theory has been here that long. Faculty mostly attend the KSA meeting as active listeners and questioners. It's not that we don't want to hear from faculty, but we don't want faculty telling the businesses that they disagree with them in this meeting. We want to have an open forum for the businesses to talk about what they want, and then faculty take that information and cross-reference it to existing curriculum, even for brand new programs. And then they diligently try to update the curriculum to address the highly prioritized knowledge and skills and provide feedback. This is an essential slide. I'll make these slides available so you can have them. Co-leadership, I've said it twice. This is our 3rd time, and maybe I won't say it again, but I won't promise. This is the olden days, if you will. This is when we used to meet face to face, and instead of having people vote electronically, we voted by raising hands and counting people. I show you this because almost all of our meetings are always hybrid. In the middle is a conference phone. I know most of us don't use conference phones anymore. We have sound systems in our rooms and all that. That's fine. But I ran a national center. And I didn't want those national leaders from East Coast, West Coast, North, South, all over the country. I didn't want to have to fly them in. for every single meeting that we had. So we let them participate via initially just phone, and then it changed into Zoom. Or actually, it was WebEx and it was GoToMeeting for a while. But bottom line is we had a web meeting software that we could use. When we voted by hand, this meeting took 6 hours. And the cool thing is you can see how many people are there around the table. They stayed because they were getting so much value out of being there. And that's something you have to pay attention to. Why do they want to work with you? What's their reason? They're with them for working with you. You need to address that in return for them actually spending time with you. This is the annual cycle for a college. It's modified if I'm on a national level or a regional level, but we do have to start at the top and recruit our BILT members. I don't fire the Business Advisory Council members, but let's be honest. I've seen the Business Advisory Councils at some colleges, and the people that are on it may or may not be true subject matter experts to be able to tell you with specificity what they want you to teach and what skills they want your graduates to have. We do hold a little short orientation, which is not a whole lot different from the slides we've done so far, that will explain to the potential BILT members what the benefits and commitments would be to the BILT model. Then we talked about the KSA analysis meeting. It does work from a pro forma list of knowledge, skills, and abilities that you think are what they're going to want. Faculty cross-reference the KSAs there at the bottom on the right. Then we have a feedback meeting, trends meeting, and look where I'm putting the expanded engagement. Oftentimes we will go to the businesses with our hands out. We're the community college. We want your help. We're in the community. You need to help us. What I try to do is flip the script and make sure that they're getting value from us before I ask for more from them. Annual BILT meetings, not much. 4.5, 5 hours a year are required. That's it. The KSA analysis meeting is in person and always hybrid, actually. The trends meetings are always virtual. And I will say the KSA analysis meeting, if you are not in an area that changes frequently, then you don't have to do the full detailed KSA analysis every single year. For example, maybe you're doing a welding program. I doubt those are the people that are going to be on this call, but maybe you have a welding program. And if you have a welding program, if it's not changing a lot, just talk about the things that are changing in the annual meeting. But in IT, it's been my experience that we always had changes from year to year. The emphasis is on growing a pipeline for those businesses of right skilled job candidates and let them see your really good students first. Here's some examples. These are a few proof points. This is from Forsyth Technical College in North Carolina. They have had a BILT now for 7, 8, 9 years, something like that, in the manufacturing area, more mechatronics area. It fosters partnerships for sure. The industry knows what to expect in working with you. It focuses the curriculum efforts on what the industries want. And it gives us a chance to not only gauge the knowledge and the skills, but also the value of the certifications. Yes, I led certifications for Novell. However, I will tell you that over the 20 years or so since then, some businesses around some colleges want them and some do not. Some want the skills without the certification. I will say that it's important for us to figure out what our industry is saying before we put a whole lot of money in those certifications. Their forecasting tells us whether the program is growing or may not, and they will take an active role in many things once they see the value of participating. Another thing that Forsyth did, they went after a grant, an apprenticeship grant. They got that apprenticeship grant based largely on their BILT letters. Here's another proof point. Harper College in Chicago, actually Schaumburg, Illinois. So far, we have created, and I've helped them, create 3 BILT teams. They did not really have a cybersecurity program until recently. They now have that. I am going up there next week to do the feedback session on their AI program. We've already met with the industry. Cloud is right after that. And then we have another program, a semiconductor program in process after that. So lots of things are going on there. Then, speaking of AI, in 2021, Vice President Delgado down there told me that he wanted me to apply for a job. And it turns out they couldn't hire me because I live in Texas and they're in Miami and their systems wouldn't support it. But he cut me a very nice contract and asked me to lead the effort for recruiting their national BILT team in AI, for figuring out what the pro forma KSAs needed to be, and for handling that and working with the faculty to create their curriculum. I'll do the last thing on this slide first. The BILT team drove the creation of 2 certificates, an AS and a BS. The AS launched in fall of 23. The BS is launching this fall. It's well over 600 students because I actually chatted with Vice President Delgado yesterday. He said it was something like 772 students were in the program. Back to the beginning, though, the cybersecurity BILT drove the work for the AS and the BS in cyber. And initially, a lot of the people were not sure they wanted to hire 2-year graduates, but now they do. They have well over 1,000 enrollees and massive demand for the students. 2 other programs we've done are cloud and data analytics, and we have a couple in process in engineering and semiconductor. I spend a lot of time in Miami, and I absolutely love being part of their family. We have another announcement to make, and you will see this as of yesterday. Miami-Dade, Houston Community College, and Maricopa Community College were funded for a national consortium in AI. So stay tuned on that. We're not actually starting until October 1st, but there are going to be a lot of resources available to you. This is a picture of when we did the feedback for AI at Miami-Dade College. They also had money to create 2 artificial intelligence centers, one on each of 2 campuses. Can you see that these BILT members really do like each other? Also, too, there's the virtual room in the back. They were equally involved in the work, and we just love working with them on this emerging program. This is when the opening occurred for the Artificial Intelligence Center with the president and several dignitaries. And here is our person that you see to talk with as you enter the artificial intelligence area, and there's all sorts of labs and conference rooms around there. Here's another example, Bismarck State College in North Dakota. It's a polytechnic institution. They have latched on to BILT with a vengeance. They actually have 11 BILTs already created. We help them with free training initially. However, they have on their own basically scaled the whole process, and they have 11 of them. They're giving you some points here. The BAS in finance is industry driven, lots of jobs. The program grew from 21 to 100 students. This is not a huge college, so this is really remarkable for the college. Now, our BILT chairman for our national team always liked to categorize and compare the differences between an advisory team and a business-led team. On an advisory team, and by the way, this is his slide. On an advisory team, you're industry advised. You may take advice or not take advice, depending upon who's talking and whether you believe them. If you have a BILT team and you have put subject matter experts on that team, it is industry co-led, and there will be knowledge, skills, and abilities that you will get prioritized by working with your industry. And the curriculum needs to be recognized by your BILT team. It needs to, need to have a sense of ownership in your curriculum. I won't say that it must be recognized. It's a good idea for it to be recognized. When the business people are part of the owners of your curriculum, you can get them to do almost anything for you. They'll provide mock interviews. They will provide, I call it speed dating, but it's really speed interviewing, where you have a conference room set up or maybe a conference center set up with tables for various of your BILT members. And the students actually present their resume for a 5-minute interview and a 5-minute feedback session. They'll do all sorts of things for you if you actually recognize that what they're giving you is of their time to make things better for the students, and then you try to do what they ask you to do. It's been a remarkable run with the group that we have, and I have to tell you that when our IT center sunset, I had already worked with the NIDIC Center, National Information Technology Innovation Center at Columbus State College in Ohio, and they're taking our BILT members over to their area and actually expanding what they're going to cover. Who should be on your BILT? It should be high-level technical executives, and the operative word there is technical. You do not want people who are figurehead project managers or figurehead CEOs that are so far up that they don't really know what the people they want to hire need to know in terms of knowledge and skills. You also want first-line hiring managers, because who better to tell you what their issues are and where they think things are going for their company. Technicians are important. The technicians I like to see on the BILT team are people who have graduated from your college, because let's face it, we talk about student learning outcomes. Our businesses talk about knowledge and skills. They're the same thing, but it's a different lingo. And it is really helpful to have a technician working for the company who, in fact, graduated from your institution. The HR execs are not the sole rep for a company usually. This can vary. However, the HR reps get their information from the hiring managers. So it's better that they not be the only representative for you. And again, faculty are ex officio. They mostly listen, ask questions, and answer questions. It's just really, really important that faculty not start disagreeing with the businesses if the businesses say they don't like, for example, one of the courses that's been being taught for the last 20 years. It may be that it's time for that course to go, but again, faculty are in charge. We just don't get into an argument with them during the BILT meetings. We want diversity. Why do we want diversity? Because it's important. Our nation is diverse, period. It's always been a pet peeve of mine that we don't have a lot of women involved in IT, cybersecurity, etc. I have to say, though, they are a fertile ground for you to go for to get them involved, because I know so many women who may or may not have technical skills but need to support a family or need to support themselves. And I've worked with several women who didn't think they could do it, and they have come out having skills that have merited very, very nice salaries. Do consider gender, ethnicity, backgrounds, type and size of company. Don't just play with the big companies, because oftentimes the people that hire our students first are the smaller companies. And the smaller companies are probably the best place to go when, in fact, you're starting a job, because they expect you to be a jack of all trades. The work is not siloed there in general. Now, I'm not maligning the big companies. Those are great too. But it's important to have all sizes of companies and different focuses for those companies. It is desirable to have the BILT members be able to predict the future needs. It's also very desirable if they are already able to hire associate level students. However, that's not absolutely required. When we started our BILT team back in the early 2000s, no one on the business team would commit to ever hiring a 2-year IT worker, and now they all do. How did that change? Well, first of all, they're short of talent, but secondly, I brought out some of the students periodically for them to interview, and they were always very impressed, and kind of the mindset changed over time. Now, if you're going to do this KSA meeting, what is it? The whole process was created by the Convergence Technology Center, which is the national IT center that just sunset. It uses something called PCAL7. You can forget that at this point, other than that is the name of the process that we use through the U.S. Air Force. The businesses prioritize the knowledge, skills, and abilities businesses are going to need from entry-level workers 12 to 36 months in the future. We don't go for consensus. Sometimes you're going to find that different companies are going to need different capabilities. In fact, almost all the time you'll find that. And the results of the prioritization after we have prioritized it through a vote and we discussed it will help faculty align curriculum to the workforce needs. And who benefits? Well, lots of people benefit, but the students especially benefit because they're going to be very workforce ready and they're going to definitely be able to find a job. This is an example of some KSA votes. This is for technical project management. One of the grants I led was IT skill standards. That's the grant that actually sunsets this particular month. We worked with 265 employers nationally to create skill standards for 6 of the most critical IT areas. Anyway, long story short, this is technical project management. If someone were to vote a 4 for an item, that says they demand that it be in curriculum. 3 says, should be. 2 is nice to have, and 4 means we don't need it. So what we do is we look at this, and actually, in general, anything that's under, say, 2.6, 2.7, I will discuss with the group. I'll ask somebody who voted a high and somebody who voted a low to give us their opinion, and they discuss it. And then I also open it up so that the individuals in the meeting, if something averaged out low and they want to lobby for keeping it in curriculum, they can do it anyway. There's a whole lot more to this, but we have all sorts of templates to use. You don't have to create this from scratch. We have elevator pitches, if you will, to use in inviting your business people. We've got all the background support you can imagine in this grant, where I'm going to offer you a free slot. Okay, why do we want students? Or how does this affect students? Well, students are going to become employees in whatever field you're working on. And also, I think all of our professors want to deliver relevant industry sought after skills. There's a misconception that we in education only have to work about 20 hours a week. We all know that's not true. So it's very helpful to have the businesses augment our knowledge, especially about the future. The BILT members will, as I said before, they'll agree to do things like mentoring, internships, apprenticeships, and externships. Externships are for faculty. That gives them an opportunity, sorry, I got hiccups, to be able to spend some time in the real world away from the college for a little bit. The business leaders have employees, entry-level employees out of this that can hit the ground running. They can tangibly give back and to know they're appreciated. And it's very important for us to appreciate them because, again, they're volunteering their time for us. All right. I say the last item for now. The BILT Academy is through the Pathways to Innovation National Science Foundation project. It's my project that I homed at CORD, Center for Occupational Research and Development. The BILT Academy provides free training to college teams to implement the BILT model. There's a lot of documentation, but it's been our experience that it works best when you go through our academy. We do have some cohort meetings. About once a month, we'll have a cohort meeting. But then we're going to assign you a coach who can sort through any of the challenges that you might have. at your campus. They're a very experienced coach. They've implemented BILT themselves. It's extremely important to have somebody to help you problem solve, because you would not believe all the different things that can be a challenge. We also provide on-demand access to the templates and resources that I talked about, the support materials, and we will provide co-facilitation for your KSA meeting, your skills prioritization meeting, for the first time, so that you get to see how, if you have 150 items, we're not going to discuss all 150 items in 2 hours. We're going to discuss the anomalies, and we're going to discuss the things that the individuals specifically want to discuss. The application, you'll find it at Pathways to Innovation. You can use that QR code. You do want to go down to the BILT Academy area and you want to find the application. Please fill it out by the 5th of September. That's after Labor Day, but don't put it all off for that time. It's going to be very competitive. We'll be able to take 12 to 16 teams, but if we get more applications than that, which I'm sure we're going to, we're thinking about starting another BILT Academy in January. I'm going to move on. If you need the QR code, I will come back. You can say that in chat if you wish. So we're up to questions. How about I stop sharing, Myra, and just let people ask questions? Or do you have questions?
Yeah. So Ann, thanks for that. That was amazing. That was a lot of information. So we have time for questions. So I want you to take advantage of having Ann with us today. So please feel free to come off of mute and ask your questions. Don't be shy. We have a bunch of educators here, so I doubt any of you are shy.
And
Don't be shy.
I was wondering, what do we need in the college to create a team? What do we need from the college?
You need a faculty member, and you need an administrator that can be a chair or anybody above. We have learned from experience that faculty members need a little support to get things through their college, to get rooms reserved, to get technology set up, all of that sort of thing. And you need to pick the program you want to focus on first. Myra, tell me how to stop sharing. Maybe I can see people.
Yeah, so if you
I don't
click
know.
on stop sharing from the chime, so you got to go back to the chime.
I don't know how to get back to the chime. Let's see.
Let me see if I
Yay!
it?
Stop sharing.
feel free to
think
come
I
on video.
On video.
Okay. Woo! It worked. I don't know chime very well. Was that question
Rolling
from
the boat.
Paul?
Yes.
Okay. You need to pick the program that you want to focus on. You do not want to do everything at once. You want to pick one, get good at it, then pick the next one. I will tell you that I was on a panel with a president who, or actually a vice president, who in fact said, well, we like BILT, but it's too hard to scale. What I found out was that she tried to put BILT into 34 programs simultaneously. And I said, well, that was your problem there. You don't really want to do that. You want to do maybe a couple of semester if you happen to be on the dean level or anything like that. That's what you want to do.
But
Okay.
should we get a
So
buy-in from our president and our deans first?
you don't have to. It would be nice if you get a buy-in from your dean. But it is sufficient to have a faculty member and a chair. I think you want to get buy-in, probably you do, from your dean. And I know that these slides I'm going to make available in a PDF so you can get to them. Plus, you have my information. I think I put that in there. I'll do it.
I don't remember seeing it.
That's my email. It's in chat. You
Thank
can
you.
email
Yeah.
me.
I will also follow
Um,
up with everyone with the copy of the PDF of the slides and Ann's information.
Yeah, please do, Myra. I'll be happy to answer questions for you. Be patient. If I do not respond to you in 24 hours, it probably means your email rolled off my screen. It doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. So be a pest. Tell me again, hey, I emailed you. You know, this week I've been at a conference all week and presenting a good portion of the time, and I've got a stack of emails I need to go through. So please, what institution are you with, Paul?
Wilbur Wright College, part of the City
Oh,
Colleges,
yeah.
Chicago. So I'm part of the
Yeah.
Business CIS program. So I'll be reaching out to you also for machine learning. Just
Okay.
finished the boot camp today.
Oh,
Oh, well,
congratulations.
good. That's great. Awesome. Okay.
Thank you for the question. Anyone else have questions?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I do. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
Can you hear me? My name is Deborah Dart. I'm Dean of IT here at Tidewater Community College in this great state of Virginia. And we are actually beginning our AI program. And I was actually really admiring Miami-Dade College's AI program. So I would definitely like to communicate with you in reference to establishing that and working with you.
Sure. I will be happy to talk to you about it. I will say that that grant that I talked about, we're so excited it got awarded. I don't know how many of you know about National Science Foundation, but they typically want to know for sure that there are jobs out there in the SOC code that applies to whatever you're going for. There's no SOC code for AI. Yeah, there isn't one.
Right.
So, I mean, I worked for a very, I'm not the lead, I'm not a co-PI, I'm a helper on this. But I worked for a very long time with the National Science Foundation because I've had many millions of dollars of grants. And I said, you know, you got to look at what we can say based on the keyword AI, because bottom line is, think about a year ago, we had ChatGPT that just exploded on the scene. AI wasn't new. It had been here for a while, but it got a lot of attention at that point. So sure, please reach out to me.
No, I
Deborah?
definitely will. I work closely with the NSF as well with our cybersecurity program. So
Awesome.
I'm abreast of the grants as well that we get through.
Good.
We're working on that in our next conference. So this kind of aligns perfectly.
Terrific. Okay.
So, Deborah, can you tell me what school you were with again?
Tidewater Community College.
Okay, thank you.
I know someone who was there for many years, but I'm not going to drop names here.
You can do last name. I've
Someone
been here
who
for
was,
over 20 years.
well, it's someone I worked with from Tidewater, the late 90s. Okay.
Okay, I think Dr. Brown
Who
had a
else?
question.
Mustafa from UIC. So I have two questions. One is, and how this program rolls out, how it works. And the other piece, I apologize, I joined a little bit late. I had chime issues. And the second one is there a cost to it?
No cost, it's free.
Okay.
Well, it's free through the National Science Foundation grant. If your college wants to move at their own pace and they don't want to wait to get into the free training, we do it for consulting fees. It's not terribly expensive. I'm in what I call preferment, Mustafa. Preferment is I retired, but I didn't retire because this whole BILT thing was going a long time ago. I've been an IT person since long before IT was cool. And I am excited about innovation. It's AI now, it's going to be quantum tomorrow. You know, that's where we're going. Just reach out to me. That would probably be a better thing than going back and trying to cover it all right now.
Okay.
We're also going to have for the free training, I'm not sure
14th
what
of
day.
August.
On the
14th of August, I
14th.
saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have a webinar on more details at that point.
Okay.
And Paul, the free one has to be through the National Science Foundation. So you need to have something that would be funded through the National Science Foundation. So AI, machine learning, IT, cybersecurity, if you happen to be in the trades like the welding, any of those, But business, I've done business, it works. But that group had to pay for it because National Science Foundation will only support some areas. Okay.
Okay.
Who else?
Yes.
I'm
I'd
delighted
like,
you're interested.
Hi,
what do you consider a team for the BILT Academy engagement?
Raymond, that's you, right?
Yes.
Okay. A faculty member and an administrator. I will say that our cycle, though, I mean, I'm already working with you, but our cycle for this starts in late September, but doesn't finish until spring next year, end of spring. So if you're wanting to go faster, which you already do, sorry, I know Houston a lot. We're already set up in good shape. Okay.
Okay.
Someone else is Ben.
Yeah, this is Ben. Hi, how are you? Can you hear me? Yeah. I just
I
want
can.
to
Who are
see
you with?
if you could please share again the QR code. I didn't have my phone with me when
Sure.
when it's there.
I think I can.
You should be able to share
And if
your
I,
screen again. If not, we're going to
yeah,
send the PDF out today. Oh, I mean,
Oh, okay,
when,
great.
yeah, you'll get the PDF again of the
Perfect.
slides.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
look at
Yeah,
you.
that's awesome. How about
Just one more
this one?
behind, right?
25.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
Yeah.
right.
there you go.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Myra, send it. You do want a PDF. Are you going to PDF it and send it out?
Yeah,
Or
you
I'll
sent me this.
PDF and send it
Well,
to
you
you.
sent me, I have the slides, right? The updated slides.
Okay, so PDF it. You don't want to
Okay.
send the slides as they
No,
are?
no, no, no. I was going to say, but you sent me the slides so I can PDF it, right? Okay.
Correct, sure.
Yeah, I'll PDF it.
Good enough, everybody?
Thank you.
Okay, we have a
Okay,
few more
sure.
minutes with Ann. Anyone have any other questions?
I can't believe you don't have questions. Because I did not cover
How about
everything. I
redundancy?
promise.
What's
What
the
was this?
best way to redundancy? What's the best way to get the college buy-in to make a successful buy-in from the college?
You'll learn that on our webinar. We talk about that. Sometimes you'll get buy-in at the first, sometimes you won't. But what part of what I did at this National Science Foundation conference I attended in Kansas City this week, part of what I did, one thing came up, I said, success breeds jealousy. And if you are successful in a program in getting your employers highly excited about what you're doing and highly involved, everybody else is going to want to do what you do. And it'll be pretty much a grassroots effort. Very cool. I've seen it happen over and over and over again. Anything else?
So Ann, I can
Well,
ask
I'm
a few.
available.
I was going to say, Ann, I can ask a few questions because
Okay.
people may not ask them. So one, is the BILT model a cohort or is it with several institutions
No,
when you run it?
it's per institution. You've got to know the basic how to do it. I mean, I'm doing it for 3 national efforts and a regional effort right now. That is a very different beast. Ultimately, though, any curriculum change needs to be per institution. You may come up with the pro forma KSAs for the whole region. You may prioritize it for the whole region, but ultimately to affect students, it's got to be instituted at your college. So I believe it's most important to do the approach for your college first. Understand the basics of the model. There's a question about, can four-year schools apply? I don't know the answer to that. I know we're funded from 2-year money, but if you're working with 2-year schools, very possibly send me an email and tell me more. Okay? Because as I told you, I just I was written into some grant applications for 2 universities. They're not R1 universities, they're R2,
Mhm.
but I was written into their grants and they were just funded this week and they're so excited they can't believe it.
Yeah. So, and just for context, through the Educator Enablement Program, we work with minority serving institutions, so
Oh,
HBCUs,
yay.
HSIs, TCUs, at the 2-year and the 4-year level. And so I think that would be interesting to find that information out because I think
Sure.
for a lot of our HBCUs and HSIs, they're underfunded and
Sure.
can use a lot of help also in getting resources and grant and funding.
I think there is a way we can work it out. They might need to show a partnership with a 2-year
Mm-hmm.
or something like that.
Okay.
I know I have worked with HBCUs. I have worked with HBCCs. Um, the free money or the free training is through the National Science Foundation ATE program that is focused on 2-year schools. But I know I've also funded a 4-year school as a partner. So the answer is I don't know, but I'll find out. And the other thing is we don't charge that much if you want us to do it for you anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm making like a third of what I charged 25 years ago in industry. So, I mean, that's, it's not a lot
Yeah, definitely. So, and
by
I want to
choice.
So, Ann, I want to thank you for sharing your information with us today and the great presentation. I think this is something that a lot of the community colleges need. And I think it's an interesting kind of idea for 4-year institutions, specifically MSIs, moving forward. So I just want to share with the educators that are on the call with us today. So you know that through, and you may not know, but if you're part of the Educator Enablement Program and you're receiving our communication, we offer curriculum consulting for AI specifically. Um, we do
Right.
not do the employer engagement piece. We do not do the like the KSAs like Ann is doing. So if you want to take your program further, we are the starting point where we help you upskill in AI. We help you figure out the competencies within the curriculum itself that are industry standard. But with Ann, you can dive even deeper into the KSAs that employers are looking for in your area. Is that
Right.
correct, Ann? Right. So
Right. Right.
that's very, so I don't
Right.
have the ability to do uh, area specific competencies just because we work with all colleges in the
Sure.
US and we have this whole remit of upskilling educators. So where our program drops off and picks up. So this is a great way to continue forward with your program to actually expand it and solidify it from I would say an operational perspective, but also very functional for all of you. So I hope to be bringing more resources to you all, like Ann. To help you figure out not only how can you ensure that your program is academically sound from a curriculum perspective, but also from like engaging your employers, right? Because I think that's the key because you want your students to get employed. Um, and so working with Ann, I think that's hugely beneficial because there's a structured program. She's very well connected. Um, so I see a question in here. We really like to receive more. Okay, so we have, I'm going to put in here for those of you, if you're not receiving our newsletter, you need to, I think, okay, so you probably got into this group today because you are receiving our newsletter. What I can do, Deborah, is I can, uh, if you can email me, because I'm
That
gonna
would
put
be
my
great.
email here. Yeah, and we can schedule some time for an orientation. If I can type my own
Type and
email.
talk at the same
I
time.
know, I
Wow.
know. It's a skill I learned in I think I was in 10th grade in high school when I took a typing class.
Good, good, good. That's great. Thank you, Myra, so much for helping me spread the word. I am in preferment and I prefer to share everything I know that works for the good of the American workforce. And I'm delighted you faculty members or administrators, whatever, participated today, and I look forward to helping you in the future.
Yeah, and Ann and I, we hope to like our program, the Educator Enablement Program. I'm really going to be keeping close ties with Ann and the BILT program and CORD, just because I want to make sure that we have a streamline where we can continue to filter our educators once they have a program to really, especially a proposal for a program, to be able to make sure that they dive deeper and really are able to um, at a finish line, right, for their students. So,
Works for me.
Just one
yeah.
last thing, Myra. I've sent you an
Yes.
email if you don't mind, if you can reply to me. I think I sent you a week ago. I know you took a new role, probably your email is full with that.
Oh, no, I didn't take
My
a new
email,
role. Yeah, I didn't
In
take a new role.
process.
Monica left. So
Yes,
I
I
am,
saw that. So
yeah, I'm
probably you're
inundated
bombarded
right
with.
now. Yes, I will I'm gonna be so I'm out of office Monday through Wednesday, but I will get back to you when I'm back in office.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay,
It was a
no
great session.
problem.
Thank you, and we'll stay in touch. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I
and
want to tell,
Mustafa,
yeah,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
say again that if you send me an email and I don't respond within 24 hours, it rolled off my screen. And I
Okay.
will eventually get back to you, but you may not want to wait that long. So be a
Okay.
pest, send me another one.
Will do.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, and appreciate it. Great session. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. And just for all of you on the call, I'm going to be sending out monthly newsletters, and this month's newsletter will include Ann's information in there also with the PDF of the slides. And I'll be sharing additional resources and announcements and all that good stuff. So if you have something that you want in the newsletter that you want to announce, I'm going to send you instructions with the first newsletter how to send me information to include into the newsletter, because I want to make sure that we get communication that is sent out to all the educators that are part of the Educator Enablement Program.
And send the newsletter to me because I
Yes,
can
I
share it.
will. I will add you, Ann.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Ann, you are fantastic. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you for letting me do this. This
Oh
was
no,
wonderful.
I
I love
appreciate you
it.
offering to do it. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and safe travels home. Ann, thank you for hanging
Thank
out
you.
with us a little longer.
My flight's already delayed. Oh well.
Oh,
That's normal. Thank you all. Oh, hi, Raymond and Mrs. Raymond. I haven't met her yet. Thank you all.
yes. All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye, Dr. Brown.
Bye
Bye,
now.
Diane. Bye, everyone. And that was great. Thank you so much.